flats with her. Why are you looking at me this way? I said, what? I was very emotional. I don't know what was wrong with me. My stomach got a little bit bigger around that time. And my hormones were mixed up. And I was fighting with her all the time. When we went home, she closed the door forcefully. I said, why did you do this? If you loved me and you respected me, you wouldn't have done this. You don't know the kind of work I do? Take me to my family's house. Ladies and gentlemen, it's either that I was very, very, very sick, or I was pregnant. To check the possibilities, I went to the best place for medical advice. My mom. But she told me to go to the second best place for medical advice. Samsung. I mean, they have it all. Huge empty parking spaces, timely appointments, and a very friendly staff. Anyone here from Samsung?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. So I went there, and they did all the checks that they need to do, and they needed to take some blood out. But they complained that my veins were very deep. So they had to call drilling and work over to get some blood out. And then they wanted to weigh me. But they said very politely, Tariq, we don't have a scale big enough for you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a true story, sadly. They said, could you please go down to shipping and handling? Big linen and fruit cartons. So I went. When I came back, they said, sir, we cannot handle your situation here. We're going to have to refer you to London to do this. Where have I heard this one before? 10 minutes out. Anyway. So, they flew me business class to London. I love Aramco. Well, I'm not sure if this was Aramco rules or if I couldn't fit in economy, but it was excellent. But the best thing I do when I go on airplanes is I walk through the alley, even if my seat's behind me. And I love the look on people's faces. They're like, I hope he's not sitting next to us. And I walk back and forth until they're all nervous. Gotcha. The doors are this. I always wanted to do that. So I went to the business class and I sat comfortably there. But the worst thing was that there was a baby crying and crying and crying, and I was getting very angry, and I was very emotional at that stage. And I had peanuts in my head. The baby was about 3 months old. And the devil played with my head. I almost did it, because the pilot was complaining the whole time. He had to fly the whole way from Bahrain to London like this. When I landed in London, I flashed my green passport. Sir, you're going to have to go to the next line. And I went to the next line. They said, we're going to have to search you. Take up your belt, take up your shoes. I was wearing those baggy pants. Oh, I stood there in the world's busiest airport. He was tapping on my pants, and my pants dropped to my ankles. I didn't want to do any sudden moves because I thought they will shoot me. So I just stood there in the middle of the airport in my boxers. Only that day I regretted wearing my pink flowery ones. And they told me, please, we need to do more research, more search. Go to that room. They searched places I didn't think existed on my body. They found the left shoe, an old Aramco ID with the old logo on it, a set of batteries, keys, but then they thought I was harmless, so they let me in. When I went to the hospital, they did every test that they had. They even gave me a nuclear shot. That's where your whole body is radioactive, and they told me to stay away from people because I could harm them. I was the first walking, talking, successful Arabian nuclear reactor. I expected to be bombed any second. But then when the day of the surgery came, I panicked. Because I heard this very nice nurse saying, listen, I know it's your first time, but inshallah you'll do great. Well, she didn't say inshallah, she's not Arabic, but close. She said, you'll do fine. I know it's your first time, but if you try, I think you can make it. She wasn't talking to me, she was talking to the surgeon. This is why I ran out of the hospital, came back home to my country, to the people that love me as I am. And I accepted myself as I am, because my overweight and my sickness gives me 3 advantages. I'm harder to kidnap. I serve my country anytime they need me. I act as a weapon of mass destruction because I can cause tsunamis whenever I want. The third one is I get people's respect whenever I sit with them. Whenever I sit, they fly to their feet. So from this stage, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to try hard and hard from this stage, city, this beautiful country. I'm happy to tell you that I finally give up.